So we saw at this year's U.S. Women's Open just how tough lane conditions can be.
And that 10 is, no, that's not going to go.
But in addition to the different types of oil and conditioner, the topography of the lanes can play an important part as well.
Now goes the four-pin.
Have you ever wondered why you strike once? And then when you move to a new lane, your next shot does this, even though you swore you threw it exactly the same? It's one of those things that drives bowlers crazy. And it turns out it may be because the topography on your lanes aren't consistent throughout the bowling center. Meet Tom Frenzel, a research engineer in the Equipment Specifications Department at the United States Bowling Congress.
You know, when people look at a bowling lane, they think, oh, well, it's just flat. Look at it, it's flat. But in reality, no one can truly make a flat item.
Tom was one of the experts who helped analyze and level the lanes prior to the 2015 Bowlmore AMF US Open. And the findings and results that came from that work were amazing. One way to evaluate a center's topography is by throwing 12 identical shots right down the middle of 12 different lanes, and then measure the deviation of those shots. In the case of a center with inconsistent lane-to-lane topography, the deviation of the 12 shots at 15 miles an hour can be 3 boards or more. But after the lanes were leveled for the 2015 US Open, the dispersion decreased to just 1.49 boards. That nearly 2-board difference has a huge impact on the bowler, especially considering the pocket area at the pins is less than 2 boards wide. Another way of measuring is to look at where the ball ends up when you throw shots on different parts of the lane. In a case where the lane is depressed, when we throw 12 identical shots on 12 different lanes down the 5th board on the right side, the lanes pulled the ball 5 to 8 boards left of its original line. After leveling the lanes for the US Open, the dispersion was within a 1.5 board area of the ball's original starting point.
So what does that do for your competition is it should allow for anyone to win. It should allow for the best bowler to win. Taking away something they can't control means that the factors that are going to get the bowlers to the show are the factors they can control, which should promote the best bowler winning.
With the help of dedicated individuals like Tom Frenzel, leveling the playing fields to make the game fair for everyone in the sport's championship venues is just another way that the USBC is helping to ensure a future for the sport of bowling.
We'll be back with more from the PWBA Lexington Open Finals right after this. So in a roll-off, Shannon O'Keefe gets a strike and a dramatic delivery by the Message there to defeat Shannon Bluhowski. Now, match number 2, Brianna Cote from Red Rock, Arizona, who was an incredible college bowler at Central Missouri, taking on Shannon O'Keefe. And here's a good look at Brianna. And this is a big tournament for her, Carolyn, for moving up in the PWBA, the Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship point standings. We'll get into that as the match goes on. A little through the nose. I thought for a second we might get a message, but it's not.
Brianna, one of our young guns out here on the tour. I remember when she first made Team USA. Just, you know, you look, and I'm just in awe of the young talent and their passion and just their physical ability. And she has worked so hard at her game. She got married recently. And just everything seems to be coming together for her, so it's great to see her out here on the show.
This is her first television show. Certainly not for that woman right there, Shannon O'Keefe.
I consider her a seasoned veteran.
Well, she is. She is. No doubt about it. Internationally, as well as in the States. Looking good there. That's a great shot to begin things for Shannon O'Keefe. It's been an incredible year for her. First, her husband Brian led the McHenry men to the Intercollegiate Team Championship. There's Brian with that fashionable scarf. Then Shannon won twice on the, there's the McHenry men. Their breakthrough victory, by the way. Now on the PWBA Tour, Shannon has been a 2-time champion. First at the PWBA Nationwide Sonoma County Open, defeating Kelly Kulik 246 to 203 in the championship match. And then she captured her second title with a win over Clara Guerrero. Pepsi Lincoln event.
You're right.
Well, now, that's something she didn't do in the first 6 frames. She did string together 3 in a row, 7, 8, and 9 in the first match.
She had that trip 9 to turn the I believe it was into a triple first, and then they went into the roll-off, and then had that trip 9. So some good breaks that turned the match around, and she's now really just on that. You know, it's one of those, you get that momentum going, and you just feed off of it.
Well, Brianna's run into a little bit of a buzzsaw early. Her response is to take them, beat them up, and knock them down. Well, we talked to Brianna earlier about what's it like to make your first television show.
I'm very excited. I've been on TV one other time when I both collegiately for University of Central Missouri. It was tape delayed. I was on ESPN2. So I have a little bit idea, but of course I had, my teammates behind me to kind of ease the fact of, oh my gosh, we're on TV. So this time I have to be on my own. I'm very excited for it, and hopefully I bowl the best I can, win or lose. I have friends and family coming in for it, so I'll have the support I need to help get me through it no matter what.
Got it. Got a little late trip on the 10, so good start for both bowlers.
Really great shots by Brianna coming out, playing the lanes a little bit more direct than Shannon, but still around the same breakpoint area. That was one of the good things about this pattern. Once, like I said, started a little bit further right, but once they migrated in, you had a little area to the right, and you actually had a little hold, which you could see with Shannon, especially with her ball speed. She creates it instantly.
Yep, she knew. And you can see the result for yourself, a 310.
Just way left off of her hand. She didn't, as soon as she let it go, she made a comment. Just closed down on it a little bit right at the end, let that right shoulder get in front of her left. Be shooting at the 310 here, changing balls to her spare ball, go straight at the 310.
Chop it. Yeah. So she will leave an open frame in the third. Are you looking for some great PWBA gear? Then visit the official online store of the PWBA at shoppwba.com. Shannon is a tremendous athlete. At Division II, Portland State University, she was an All-NCAA West Region first teamer as a freshman softball player. She was invited to go to the 96 USA softball trials. So if she shows up at your local softball diamond, she's hustling you. Be on the lookout.
She is. She was really good. And she is an incredible athlete with great physical shape.
Way to recover there. Perfectly done. Great shot from Shannon. So she's got 3 strikes with that open in the third. Cote clean through 3. Waiting the winner, Kelly Kulik, number 1 seed. Incredibly, Kelly doesn't have a PWBA title, which is staggering to imagine, but that may change today. That's got to hurry. Washed out.
Got that one a little bit further right, went way left to right. Doesn't have as much axis rotation as like a Shannon O'Keefe. But she really, right here, she pushes a little to the left and gets away from her. She actually has a little bit of a drift, and I want to say about 8 boards if I remember in talking to her in the past. And that shot there then just sent her swing and the ball to the right.
And she gets a kick off the wall. The head pin takes care of the 10, and she remains clean through 4.
Wow, what a great shot by Brianna. She just takes the spare ball, hits to the left of that head pin. You know, it's just easy to do. Bounces right into the 10.
A guy like me, probably 1 out of about 10. Jason Ishwal, he's the GM at the Collins Bowling Center in Eastland. Put on a great, great show for the ladies. Left for the makeable single pin.
I bowled Brianna the last game at the U.S. Open, and obviously we knew how brutal the lanes were, and we had to play way deep. I mean, literally, you're 25 getting it right off your hand, and she bowled. We bowled each other. Both bowled a really good game, but very versatile. Has really worked into her game, being able to play all parts of the lane, and I think that's going to be so beneficial for her in her upcoming years on the Pro Bowlers Tour. Yep.
She had a top 24 finish at the U.S. Women's Open in Illinois. In 2014, she tied the national record for the highest series by a woman with an 879 series. So she can go high if necessary. Right now, she's got to sit and cool herself off a bit while Shannon O'Keefe takes her turn.
Push. On. Swing.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say the exact same thing. That right lane in her, it's hot or cold.
And she said, the shots are terrible, so she doesn't, on the 2 shots where she split, she didn't think she threw it as good as she could have, which she didn't. She was way left, as you could say, off her hand, because her break point off the pattern was probably around 10, 11. That one didn't get right at 12. So it's not going to hold, because I don't think from that far in and missing you're going to have hold yet, because there isn't enough people playing certain parts of the lane. She just needs to get back on and execute. She may. Let me tell you, the other thing she may do, what she did in her first match, was she's not happy.
Well, she's looking at her husband.
Yeah, is maybe moving that 3 and 2 left, changing zones just a little bit, and seeing what type of reaction she has doing that.
Wow, that looked like a really solid shot to me. It was just a 4-pin left behind.
Great shot. We've had a couple games on the pattern now, and lanes could be transitioning, breaking down, which they do every shot. So it's definitely time for a move, because that was a very good shot, and that was her good lane.
Well, with bowling couples, very often a look says about 800 words.
I should know.
You should. You do. So I suspect that Shannon and Brian O'Keefe will be chatting during our break. Brianna Cote may have a little coaching going on as well. We'll find out how it all works out when we return. Any player who converts a 7-10 on our CBS Sports Network finals will receive a $100,000 bonus from Ultimate Bowling Products. 2016 PWBA Lexington Open. We're in the finals. You see 112 entries. If you wanted to make a little money, you had to average just a hair under 196. And we take a look at other finishers. Rocio Restrepo just missed out. So did Missy Parkin, Diana Zavjalova, and Erin McCarthy, road buddies, with a nice tournament in Lexington. In the 8th, Cote up 25, clean through 7. And wide, and gets a big break.
Definitely still trying to play that lane further to the right, unlike Shannon, who's probably going to make that big move here on the next shot. She's going to have to. She's going to finish on, let's see. Shannon will get one more shot on that right lane to set herself up for the 10th. But watching Brianna, now here's the thing. Even though she's playing further right and seeing where her ball's getting to and it's not coming off the spot, Shannon can learn something from that.
Yep.
So making the decision on whether I'm going to move left of it or right of it, I'm going to assume she's going to move left of it.
That's her husband, Randy, right there, trying to either sneak in a quick camera time or get a slightly better view. Either way, he does have a smile on his face with his wife in good position going into the foundation frame. First television show as a professional. She did have a college show she mentioned earlier. Central Missouri, man, did she have a career. Member of a women's national championship team in the past. 10 straight back. Let me fix that. She was actually a 4-time player of the year at Central Missouri.
Great foundation frame in that 9th to set her up for the 10th, because she is going to have to finish on the right lane. During the break, we did see Shannon O'Keefe speaking with Jeff and Brian, the Brunswick reps, to decide what they're going to do on this right lane. But she did say, how can I change balls if I'm not making good shots? But I think she did change balls, and she did. So she's going with their suggestion.
Sometimes listening is a good idea. And also executing a great shot under pressure for Shannon O'Keefe.
What a great shot by Shannon. Playing the same part of the lane. Does not look like she moved left. She just changed balls. Ball gets down the lane just a little bit further, smoother off the end of the pattern, and the execution was perfect.
Shannon's max 200, and max for Cote is 224.
Ball went down lane just a little bit further. She decided to throw it on both lanes, but still, as a bowler, I think she did the right thing. She made a great shot. She was confident in what she was doing.
Well, you've got to commit to those changes. If you make that ball change, and it's a big deal. You're in a championship final. You're in the,
Yep.
You've worked this hard to get to this position where you're a match away from competing for the championship. If you make a decision like that, you've got to make a mental commitment. And she'll wind up at 180. So Brianna Cote in a very enviable position right here. Just 4 pins to take it. And face Kelly Kulik next for the championship. She's got it. Brianna Cote on her first television show as a pro is in the finals, and she's taking on one of the best the game has ever seen in Kelly Kulik. Cote and Kulik for the championship when we return.